I've got some updates and good news to share with all NHS job seekers in today's video. So whether you are outside the UK looking to work with the NHS or you are in the UK, please stick with me to the end of this video so you get all the juicy details. My name is Sotida. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video. Give it a thumbs up as you're watching so YouTube can recommend it to more people. Kindly share it to everyone that will benefit from it. And to all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. If you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button right now. Thank you. I honestly don't know why you are yet to subscribe. Okay. There have been a lot of things going on, new rules, white paper, the government saying they are going to open up some part ways, close some, and a lot of stories out there. Is the UK still open? Yes, I'm here to tell you that the doors are still very much open for NHS workers, and I'll break it down with facts. Now, guys, the thing is, the UK is trying to cut down net migration to the UK, and that's understandable. They are trying to put some visa restrictions in some places, but guess what? The NHS is still in demand of workers. The NHS just released their official pay scale, and trust me guys, they've even broken it down and made it easier for people to get jobs within the NHS. It can allow them to get sponsorship and move with their families. And we all know that the NHS is very big on sponsorship. It's one of the biggest employers of labor in the UK, right? So if you are trying to get a job with the NHS, trust me, all these rules might not affect you. If for anything, the NHS is even trying to make it easier for you to be able to apply for jobs and move with family. Yes, they are planning to stop the care worker visa and all of that, but there are so many other rules within the NHS that you can apply for and move with your family, and the NHS is making it easier for you to do that. What changes were talked about in the immigration white paper? Firstly, they said they are going to increase threshold. Currently, it is £38,700, and the government is going to increase it even more, okay? But that is for skilled worker visa, right? That's the salary threshold for a skilled worker visa, and it does not affect health and care worker visa. On a health and care worker visa, you can be paid less amounts of money and still be qualified to move to the UK to work. Now see this NHS terms and conditions, annual, Harley, and HCA. Pay scales, also known as pay bands or pay rate, or pay scales for 2025-2026 has just been released. The annual and hourly rates have been updated and can be assessed below, inclusive of higher cost area supplements rates. Now this band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, okay? So for entry points, this is the salary that you can earn. Entry point 24,000. For band 2, band 3, this is it. And then top step point, this is it, right? So band 4 as well, £27,485, and this was just updated on the 22nd of May. This is after the government have released the white paper, and you know the other announcement that was made and everything. This was just released. This is the official NHS website, and they just released the pay rate. So you're not expected to earn up to £38,000 to be able to get a job with the NHS that can sponsor you. So you have seen it for yourself. I didn't say it. I'm showing you guys just for you to see directly from the source. So guys, this is it right now. I know that a lot of people might be worried that the government is trying to stop care worker visa and senior care worker visa. So there are so many other roles you can still get and be sponsored. So let's look at it as well. Directly from the UK government website, okay? It says based on a 37.5 hour per week, 37 in Scotland. They must be prorated for other working patterns based on the weekly working hours stated by your employer. Now, these are some of the occupations, and they all have different occupation codes, different from care worker and senior care worker visa that the government is planning to stop. Okay? So if you're applying for these other ones within the NHS, you are safe, right? So physiotherapies, occupational therapies, speech and language therapies, psychologists, pharmacies, paramedics, and these other ones, nursing, auxiliary assistants, and all of them. The trick is just add assistant at the end, okay? So physiotherapy assistant, occupational therapy assistant, future language therapy assistant, maternity assistant, all these other roles. Phlebotomist, all these other roles can still get you a job with the NHS, sponsorship job with the NHS, and that one is not stopping. Okay, also remember that before the governments announced that they are stopping the care worker and senior care worker visa, they already stopped care workers, senior carers from bringing dependents to the UK for applying with dependents. But at that time, these other roles were still applying for dependents. So now that the government is stopping the care worker and senior care worker role, why do you think that it is going to affect these other occupation codes? They all have different occupation codes. So let me show you something else. As you can see here, care workers and home carers 6135, senior care workers 6136. These are the codes that are affected. These other occupation codes are not affected. The government have not said anything about it. So if you get a 6135 job, you can't apply with dependents. If you get a 6136 job, you can't apply with dependents. And now the government is planning to scrap this 6135 and 6136. All the other ones are still very much available. The government have not said anything about that. Okay, and now we have seen that the NHS have made it easier for Band 3 and Band 4 roles, especially in these higher cost areas. Okay, when they pay you the rates for the higher cost areas, you qualify automatically for visa sponsorship. So it's not a time for you to panic, or it's not a time for you to give up. If for anything, it's time for you to intensify your application. The NHS is big. There are different NHS trusts in the UK that are looking for staff. Care workers. I don't think they're stopping anytime soon. Healthcare workers will always be in demand in the UK. So yeah, you all can see it for yourself, okay? The NHS has updated the official pay scales for different bands, and the new salary thresholds meets the Home Office requirements. Okay, so this is really good news. And you should start thinking of applying to work in the UK when you are outside the UK. Trust me, the NHS needs you. The NHS will continue to need workers. They will continue to employ and sponsor workers. Remember, in my last video, I showed you guys on the white paper where while the government is introducing all the strict measures they're putting in place, they still stated clearly in the white paper that the UK is in need of talented individuals, high professionals, global talents, and they're still going to make things easier for such professionals and such skills to come into the UK. They're going to bend their visa rules. So the NHS just started doing that already. Oh, international applicants, do not be disturbed. The UK still needs you. Yes, things might get a bit more difficult. It may not be as easy as it used to be. In fact, there was never a time that applying for jobs were easy. Applying for a job is never easy, whether you're outside the UK or you're in the UK. So you can't just apply for 1 or 2 jobs and say, oh, I'm not getting it, and that's it. No, you have to keep applying and applying like your life depends on it until you get one that you want. And the truth is, you have to also make yourself ready. Position yourself in a place that you stand a higher chance, get the required skill sets that you need, the required qualifications that you need. And that is why I want to introduce you all to grammatorial education. Grammatorial education would help you. the testimonies of lots of my followers and some of my friends, that Grammatorial have helped to secure visa sponsorships in the UK with the NHS. So you can do same. They would guide you, train you. They offer phlebotomy trainings, NVQ certificates, RQF, whatever it is that the qualification might be. They have specific trainings for you that can position you in a way that you will get jobs with the NHS. So you can also train as a phlebotomist with them. They have different training centers all over the UK and even in Nigeria. Yeah. So reach out to them today, get ready, get started. They will guide you, mentor you, help you even with job applications and everything until you get that job, right? So guys, I highly recommend them because I've seen the good works they do. I know some of my friends that they've helped as well, okay? So guys, this is actually a win. The visa pathway, the doors are still very much open. The government didn't even mention anything about it, in all the rules that they release and everything. They did not mention anything about healthcare workers or affecting healthcare workers. They didn't mention that's because healthcare workers will always be priority in the UK. You know how healthcare workers are prioritized to the extent that they don't even pay NHS fee. So trust me, this is a realistic pathway for international applicants. For everybody who has a dream of working in the UK someday, I think, I've always said it though, that you should always look at the NHS. It's your safest and easiest way to move and work in the UK. And working with the NHS, you're really safe. You're covered because most of the immigration rules, all the strict measures, do not affect NHS workers. You don't necessarily need to have a clinical background or a healthcare background. There are so many trainings and qualifications that you can get. You can just get the skill, do all you have to do so that you can make yourself qualified. It should be a green light for you to start your application or for you to start the trainings that you need or start looking towards it because NHS is still your best bet. Trust me, because like I always say, it's good to be informed. Sometimes when news like this are flying, people just focus on the negative aspects and forgets the positive parts. Please do not dwell on negativity, okay? All you have to do now is get yourself qualified, okay? Making yourself qualified for a healthcare job with the NHS. So guys, that is it for this update. This is good news. This is positive. Do not panic. Remember that the white paper is still a proposal. None of this have taken effect yet. The government have not announced any effective date or anything. So everything, as you know, it is still the same until the government gives us a start date. That's where we know that it has taken effects for now. Nothing has taken effect. So that's why I'm making this video. Hey guys, subscribe now if you are yet to do so. Thank you. This is not an immigration advice. If you need an expert opinion, do well to get one. This does not replace it. This is strictly for information purpose and to keep you guys updated and let you guys know what's going on. Point you guys to areas you should be looking at. And clearly I showed you everything from the government website and the official NHS website so that you can see for yourself that these things are there. Okay, I didn't just make it up. They are all there. They put it out there just so that you can see it and know what to do and how best to go about your applications and about your dream of moving to the UK, how to start it and how to make it become a reality. I wish you guys all the best and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.